What up, though? What's going on, people?
Oh, dear Lord.
You know I gotta come on with something different every day, right?
Something old manish.
No.
Testing 1, 2, 3. I don't hear myself at all.
Manish. Oh,
it's like my mic's not on.
I didn't set the thing to hear ourselves, but it's on.
What?
You know the thing?
Listen.
The monitor thing?
Hold up, don't say anything.
Okay.
Zoop, 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 zoop. Okay, I see the thing moving.
No, I know it's on. No, it's good.
Listen.
It's
if we do this whole podcast and we have no sound, we will fight.
It's not. It's sound.
How can you check it? Can you check it somewhere?
This whole podcast and we have no sound.
Okay.
We will fight.
It's not. It's sound.
Okay. All right. I'll believe you.
As we test
but you remember,
on live,
listen,
because she's concerned.
You got to do what you got to do sometimes. Sometimes you got to do what you got to do. So, anyways, it is Thursday, April 18th.
Yep.
8:53 p.m. It has been quite a week, emotionally, mentally, and psychologically. But it's a good day, right?
Yep. Yep.
So today we are talking about something that should be very triggering. First.
Really? Triggering.
Yes. I want to start by saying, obviously, last podcast was a lot more rambunctious. But if you can't hang,
It was?
get out the kitchen.
It was rambunctious?
Some people might think that, when I blatantly say F you, maybe it's rambunctious.
Gotcha.
But guess what? It's a part of language. And sometimes you just got to express yourself. And like I said, if you can't hang, get out the kitchen. But anyways, this week we are talking about self-control, which is something that I am very, very passionate about.
Self-control.
But I promise there won't be any FUs. Hopefully.
You sure about that?
So let's start by actually defining what self-control is. I know. Self-control is the ability to control oneself, in particular one's emotions and desires, or the expression of them in one's behavior, especially in difficult situations. I just want to say, what is the point of the headphones if I can't hear myself?
Okay,
might as well turn them off.
I'll turn it on.
I'm just saying, I don't want you to mess up the sound because the sound was great.
No, it's fine.
Okay. That was a side note. But yeah, let's talk self-control. Yeah, that makes me feel better. I can hear myself. Thank you. So there are many types, but I guess there are 4 main types of self-control: physical movement, emotion, concentration, and impulse.
Right.
Okay. So obviously, taking a look at these, the first one, obviously, that sticks out to me is impulse control. Okay. So what that means is being in control of one's impulses in a way of being able to stop and think before acting. Okay. Which a lot of people, especially in this day and age, don't have this in particular. And it's so funny because we go through school, we go through 13 years of primary school, and not one moment is actually dedicated to teaching people to have self-control.
Oh, yeah. No.
So it's
School is not for life, emotion skills, trauma skills, things.
Yes. And I know all the academics out there are like, oh, there they go, bad-mouthing school.
No.
But the thing about it is, it's not that we're bad-mouthing school in general, is that we wish school actually taught people things.
What they do is, and honestly, I'm one to attest to this, is that like you go to school, it's all about academics, and then when you do have an issue, they let Coach Mike come in the room to sit with you to talk to you about your problems on a different level. And Coach Mike,
I've never met Coach Mike.
I don't know who Coach Mike is, but I'm making an example because my Coach Mike, but he technically was a certified something, right? And that was like my version of perfect for this podcast. It was anger management. and I had my conversations with him to help with my anger issues that I have never talked about, but to you. So I'm actually saying this live right now. So if anyone's listening, yep.
Now, do you feel Coach Mike helped your anger issues?
I do feel like it helped a lot, only because he was certified. But my
There you
point,
go.
though,
But
my point being was, if he wasn't, it would have just been Coach Mike. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It would have been just, Coach Bray. It would have been
Bray?
hey,
Random.
yeah. I'm just saying. There's all Coach Henning. It's
These
just,
names, I don't know where they come from. All right.
Yeah, but
Okay.
I'm just saying that's what they do in society to help kids. Oh, this kid got an issue at home. He crying in the corner. Go talk to him. It's not an actual situation that actually help people with self-control. Children, especially nowadays more than ever, because you know how it is today.
And it's so funny because I have something written down to say that is after I define all of these, but because you brought it up, I gotta skip and come back.
Okay. Oh, I brought up something that changed the subject.
No, it's the same subject. But
Oh, okay.
So one thing that is truthful for me is I'm the type of person that I have no problem speaking of my own flaws because I feel like we all have them. So for example, with kids, I said this is what I wrote down. So many people, adults, have not mastered or are even trying or entertaining the idea of self-control. We expect so much of our kids, it's really not fair. We literally, because we're adults, we think we have the I can't even get the words. Basically, we can do whatever we want to do because we're adults. So we don't have to have self-control. But then we sit there and we yell at our kids about having self-control, but we don't even have any. So how can you expect them to have self-control when you haven't mastered your own?
Right.
That's the thing that frustrates me the most. Is I personally don't think you can expect anything of a kid that you can't do yourself. I think that's just a level of hypocrisy that is just through the roof. And that's why kids are looking at adults today. I mean, at the end of the day, the respect level is so low because most of the adults right now are, Real Housewives of whomever, acting a damn fool all the time with zero self-control. People fight because she called me a name. I'm sorry. Can we say that back out loud? You know what I mean? Because it sounds like you're 3 years old.
Right.
But we believe she didn't respect me because she called me a B. It's like, okay, the things that we believe deserve fighting, and you know what I'm saying? It's like we treat people like
Those
they
are
just
fighting
killed your mother over saying my purse was fake. It's like something stupid. You know what I mean? Like, she said I wear fake stuff. It's weird. And it's like, sometimes it's like, okay, if we're not self-evaluating ourselves and the things that come out of our own mouths, we can't get better. And it's like, sometimes it's like, say this back to yourself and then see how stupid you sound. You know what I mean? And this is for everyone. This isn't just for me talking down to other people.
Oh, yeah.
Even to myself. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, when you repeat back yourself the scenario, then you can really see how stupid it is versus not. You can
why
really
are you
evaluate.
really mad? You know what I mean?
Right. You know what I mean? Like, I'm literally about to smack this dude because he stepped on my shoes.
It's like, really?
I still want to smack him, but
I have to have some
stupid.
self-control.
Yeah.
And it is, or you understand, like, hey, why do I feel like I want to smack him?
Right.
Because I've put these shoes in a position of power that they make me feel like I'm worth something. And without these shoes, I feel worth less. So maybe I should focus on making myself feel like even if I have on $3 flip-flops, I'm the shit. You know what I'm saying? Versus feeling like he stepped on my $200 shoes, and so now I feel disrespected because I am not worth anything more than these $200 shoes.
Yeah, that
You know?
some of that is loaded because I just can't relate to a lot of stuff.
Well, we don't deal with that because
But,
we don't care.
um,
But
you know, but I
that's-
do wonder, and that's, you know, why I would like to
Yeah.
sometimes even talk to people who
feel
and
that way.
I really want to ask questions. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I'm a person who likes to ask questions, and then when I ask the question, it may sound funny or weird to other people, and then they don't understand what I'm saying, and then I'm like, I'm really just asking.
'Cause you
I'm
really
not.
wanna
I'm not
know.
offended. I'm gonna sleep great tonight, but I'm just saying. I just want to ask questions for clarity.
Mm-hmm.
That's just who I am.
So to kind of circle back,
Mm-hmm.
impulse control was control of being able to stop and think before acting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And what I've heard, what I know is a lot of times it's best to have a practice of literally taking a deep breath before you speak, act, or anything, because it gives your mind a moment to have a little bit of critical thinking. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So, there goes my foot massager. It went off. So the next one is
My turn.
emotional, control. And that is control of your own emotions, obviously. I think one thing that's funny, or not funny, but it's a thing, it's like we've come to a point where for someone to say, my feelings are hurt, means
Right.
they're weak.
Right.
And it's like, well, no, they're just telling you how they feel. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
why? Let's
Yeah.
normalize being able to say, you hurt my feelings.
Right. Right.
Because I think if we don't have shame over that we can start tackling having emotional control
Mm-hmm.
and being able to say, okay, I'm starting to feel anger. Let me not. Because like even anger is a valid emotion, but it's just about not taking it out on someone else
Right.
or harming yourself. So if you can take your anger and like, hey, I'm going to go sit in the bathroom for 10 minutes and let myself be angry and transmute that energy out really good. The problem is sometimes that people won't allow you that moment. So they want to be in your face or they want to talk. And so then all you can do is just throw it at them in order
Right,
to
right.
retreat. It's
Right.
almost like your way of saying, I needed to be alone, but since you won't allow me to, I'm going to show you why I should have been.
Yeah.
Almost kind of thing.
Right.
You know?
I just want to welcome in my sister. She tapped in. She live. She watching.
Where?
She was like, I'm here. See,
I can't see.
it's on the.
Oh, yeah, I'm not good at that.
But yeah,
Make it
no.
big.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying for real. Yeah, and I'm still late on the slides. You saw that, right?
Yeah, I'm really sick of you doing that.
It'd be
Like,
starting
you just-
soon for like about
20
an
minutes,
hour.
yo. And then he'd be like, oh, yeah, podcast.
And our slides are too sexy to be like messed up. You know
So
what I mean?
stop doing it.
Well,
Get it
you know.
together.
Well, you know.
Anyways, the third type of self-control is movement control, which, listen. This is the moment where you have to stay
Movement
PC.
control.
I need you to stay politically correct because I know we're jokey people.
Movement control.
And behind closed doors, we will get jokey. Okay? So, I'm giving you that
movement control.
movement control, as in being able to control the ability to manage how your body moves and when.
Oh, okay.
So-
Okay. Yeah.
Yes. So the thing about it
That's
is,
what I wanted. I wanted
Yeah.
to get under. Yeah.
So the thing about it is, obviously, we're talking about people who, there are some people who have neurological diseases and things like that, like that aren't able to have movement control.
Oh.
And there's a lot of parodies and jokey stuff about that type of stuff online. But on the opposite side of things, stop it. Movement control, you can take it to, I don't know, being able to just
Impulse?
control. Yeah.
Impulse?
You can connect it with impulse control.
So, and
Don't
you're
do a
referring
Will
to
Smith, maybe.
Oh, so you're referring to movement as in like
Don't slap the shit out of people.
action against, I feel hurt or offended. Somebody says something, let me just smack them like without even thinking.
Yeah. But
Okay.
movement control is being able to control your own body.
Gotcha.
So, and
Okay.
then, excluding people who have obvious, like, physical issues and things like that.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So.
Yeah. Movement control. I know, the way a lot of people grew up, movement control was not in the household. It was slap first, ask questions later.
Well, of course.
And that's
That's the regular black household.
That's a different generation, a different generation of people. You know what I mean? And and it was what I would say is that I know you were saying about the sensitivity level, the younger generations today, and how they are and things like that, and how they mama and they grandmama want to go out and twerk right now, so that's why they have problems. Okay, but there was like a thing where if there was someone in the household who was older, regardless of anything, we naturally had a sense of respect. You know what I mean? And of course, we're using that word. We had conversation on the last podcast about that. And I'm just saying, I'm using it out of context, I guess, in a sense. But I'm saying there was just a natural compassion, right? For or the natural emotional, like, they have authority over certain barriers, right?
Well, even back in the day, like, the freaking gangs wouldn't jack up the grannies. You know what I mean?
No,
like that kind of
there was
stuff
principle.
There's no principle like today.
Yes, and today, we're missing principle because of lack of self-control.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And because the lack of people slapping people when they need to be slapped. That's also movement control in the worst way. Sometimes people need to be slapped. I'm just saying, am I right?
Listen, as I was saying,
because then they'd be like, oh, well, you know what I mean?
I think every experience is a
like,
learning experience.
But it's like, but I slapped
for everybody
because I wanted you to learn that out in the real world, somebody else would do that to you. So that was a learning slap, right?
Listen, I'm trying to be the good. I'm normally the villain on here.
So no. I'm just playing the devil's advocate a little bit on when things should be, and movement control, whatever. You know what I mean?
But
on the other side of it too, meaning we're always saying don't raise, don't this, don't that, but then it's like there is still some of those old school generational raised households where that still is beneficial. And I'm not saying to just be out here slapping kids and stuff. It's not what I'm saying at all. I'm just saying that it's just a sternness level of things that still should happen. That's all.
I think that you need to, first of all, if you have self-control and you teach your kids self-control, then you actually learn who your kid is. Then you also learn what your kid needs. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
I personally, the kind of kid I don't think I was a kid that needed butt whoopings. Me personally. But I also wasn't a kid that didn't do a bunch of dumb shit like you did.
Wait a minute.
Moving right along.
I did.
Don't play games. Shit in the fish tank and shit.
Hey,
you deserve to get your ass.
Hey. I know Falana remember that.
I wasn't that kid. Listen.
I
literally wasn't that kid.
I only did things because I was very intelligent and was curious about how things work.
And see, I spent my entire life afraid of everything.
That's all.
So I really didn't do very much. Straight up. Okay?
Right. But
But like at the end of the day, like I said, when we were talking about the kid thing, it's like we've been taught as adults, like we've been taught we don't matter, and we give all of our energy to our kids. This is true. And we're, I personally think we're doing them a disservice.
Yes. Not
showing them true examples of what it looks like to struggle, work hard, fail, strive for better, learn to perfect your own self-control. It's like there's this pride, ego thing, and that's can obviously be generational through the DNA, but it's kind of like why it's like we are not okay unless we have this like need for superiority. You know what I mean? It's like, what's wrong with growing up with your kids? What's wrong with letting them see?
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, I think there's still a fear.
But what's the point of the
There's
fear?
still a fear.
But what is the point of the fear?
It's not about a point. It's
No. What's the point?
I get what you're saying.
Let's really have this conversation.
No, I get it.
Because I think it's bullshit.
Absolutely, but
I think it all goes back to the fact that people
it's
are
still there.
neglecting their own inner child.
It's still there.
And if they would actually go see that person, then they wouldn't need this. I need somebody to fear me bullshit. I call it. It's bullshit.
Right. Look, I understand. No, I get it. I'm just saying what is that to let your child see struggle. I think that people, especially from our generation and older, still has a fear of, I don't want them to see me struggle.
Yeah, but that's their ego.
So
they need ego death.
I get it. Yes, I get it. But what I'm saying is that
just because it's always happened doesn't make it correct.
I know that. But it's still a thing. You know what I mean?
Just because it's a thing doesn't make it correct.
So I'm saying, how do you handle that? How do you go about it without just saying that ain't right?
You wake up in the morning and decide to do something different.
Okay.
Because listen, let's be real. If you really look at the kids today, they don't give a shit about the adults before them. They don't see anything that they look up to. It's very rare to now that you see a kid that actually looks up to an adult. You're like, please.
Yeah, I mean,
like, they don't actually give a shit.
Back in the day, it's like, oh, I look up to Uncle Pookie, but he was the man with the red cup at the family reunion all the time, drunk. But that you just liked him.
I don't know him.
I'm just saying you just liked him. You're like, that's my. I just like.
I didn't have an Uncle Pookie.
So no, I'm making an example.
I'm sorry.
I didn't grow up like you. But listen, I'm just saying.
We've already talked about my shelter life.
No, hey, okay, sister.
Don't
bring that up.
Listen, because then I'm gonna call for my mom. Listen. Yes, I wasn't allowed to watch Sister because their dresses was tight.
Every time I hear that,
I
crack up.
I was like 13 too.
And I'm not, but
move on.
But what I was saying is that how it's like, oh, we looked up to Uncle, and he wasn't the good example, but we just did. You know what I mean? And today it's like you have to be like successful, you have to have money, rich, you have to be emotionally stable, you have to have all that stuff
for them to think you're cool,
to think that you have anything.
You got to have on $1,500 shoes.
Yes, and it's like, we got this house, we got this, you got everything in the world, you got every game system, you got all this stuff. We do
that
this.
Means nothing to them.
We give you a hug every now and then. You still ain't enough. So yeah. I mean, there's always two sides to everything.
Yes, that's very true.
So
yes.
I don't know. You always play that side of, no, it's okay. It's okay.
No, because listen, I'm a very equal person. Like, for example, let's give a real example that is very transparent of us. Stop shaking your head. No. Okay. Here's an example. Okay. We will eat ice cream or whatever, but we'll tell Ellie, no, you don't need no ice cream because we want her to be better than us, kind of thing. And it's kind of like, okay, the way to be better is just don't buy the fucking ice cream. And then nobody eats the ice cream. Because at the end of the day, we ain't sitting here with 6-pack abs. So the thing about it is, if we do what we're supposed to do.
I mean, this is like weird. I mean, because it's like, because I
don't
think it's relevant. It's not relevant.
It's not relevant to you.
No,
Mr. Nas.
Listen. I mean, I don't really care about ice cream like that or whatever. But
it was
what I'm saying. I know it's an example. I mean, that comes from, and I can tell you where that comes from, and it's not us.
Do as I say, not as I do. Bullshit, and that's bullshit,
and that's not good. That's not good, but that comes from that old generation. And I'm not saying we do that because Ellie gets ice cream. Just for everybody to know, she had some last night, but
and we did not.
But I know we didn't. See, that
ain't some kind of way. Where my ice cream at?
But no,
we don't have that.
And no, we don't just sit around and eat ice cream. That's a rare thing. But yeah, I mean, it comes from that. That old school behavior or thought process. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, well, y'all ain't supposed to have this. It ain't good for you. but I can have me a
Exactly.
drink or two.
But that comes straight to the fact that self-control is not something that has been taught historically.
So can
and
we
are
officially
just
say?
now.
But can we officially say that self-control is connected to self-care and self-love?
Absolutely.
Right.
And these are all new terms.
Right.
Even though they're not new terms, they are new terms. Like, people wasn't talking about
No.
control.
You didn't
Self-care
matter
was not a thing.
Back in the 90s, you
No.
didn't matter.
But you know what? I also see it as
You
an
didn't matter.
insurgent because of all of the
Uh-huh.
Okay, so like 20 years ago,
Right.
half of the ailments and autoimmune diseases and all of the shit that everybody is suffering from didn't exist. So the thing about it is to
True.
go to sleep at night, get a good night's sleep, wake up, go to work, do all the things.
You were good.
It was just good.
You were good, yeah.
Now we struggle just with that.
Yeah, everybody.
And so
does.
it's like
everybody
you're being
does.
forced to
It's
be
not
in a
just-
position there where you have to look at yourself and be like, okay, why I can't even sleep at night? Why are my legs swollen? Why is this going on? All these new ailments, which is connected to the food, which is connected to the water,
Yeah,
which is
'cause,
connected to
I
this,
mean,
and
yeah,
all these
yeah.
different things.
There's so many things into
So
play.
it's like we have actually been forced,
So how do you maneuver around the
Yes.
new world? The new world.
where you're forced to actually focus on yourself, because you have to focus on yourself in order to be able
Survive.
to have the longevity needed to even be there
Yeah.
one day for your grandkids to be alive. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
Yes. So it is very, very, very important nowadays more than ever.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately, people in the generation of born in the 70s, 80s, we probably did not even start our self-love care journey
Until last week.
until we were in our mid
Mid-thirties.
30s. Yeah, I mean, as I'm just saying, that's just what
I'm
it seems like.
I mean, I'm 38,
yeah,
and I just started talking about it.
right,
And I'm like, okay, I want to take the next 2 years
but what makes
before
it
I'm
worse?
40 to like really like dive into self-care
Right.
and there's one more term that's going to come up in a few minutes, and I'm gonna keep it close to the end, because if it turns into a whole nother episode, we'll just dive into it for a little bit, but it may be the next episode because it is such a loaded term.
What?
Well, we'll
wait,
get there.
You gonna wait? Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, self-care is connected to self-control.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, I really think that I think we've spent the last 3 or 4 years in this like pity party energy of what we didn't know. I feel like everyone, not just us, but like everyone has been in this regressive energy of being mad at their parents for what they didn't learn, or hey, I missed this, or I didn't get this. And that's, it gets to a point where it's like, that's counterproductive. There's no point in all of that. It doesn't move you forward. Take the moment to identify what it is that you're missing, but not in a way to go blame somebody, in a way to say, hey, I need this, let me move forward and cultivate that. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, okay, no, we need to know, ain't nobody got self-control, period. None of us have self-control. If you had self-control, nobody would have a weight issue, because you could be like, I'll lose 20 pounds. And you would just like wake up and only eat fruit and work out every day, and it wouldn't even be a thing, because you have self-control. The fact that anybody struggles with that kind of stuff is numero uno, self-control. We don't have none. The fact that we do things that we have to come back and apologize for later, lack of self-control. So the thing about it is, no one has it. So the moment that you realize that it's something that you want, and that you want to cultivate it and you want to improve in it, then you just have to start putting yourself in a position and a practice to...
It's a lot of P's together.
Yeah, because self-control is not something you just have. It's a learned behavior. It's like, if you want to learn how to play baseball, you got to actually start going outside every day and throwing the ball around and doing all the things.
No, today you gotta just watch your social media to figure things out.
Listen.
That's what people do nowadays.
Well, here
The heck?
that's listen. You get literally lethargic because it's like you can get to a point
I
where
mean,
all
I
you do
don't-
is
I don't
watch
know nothing about
videos
social
all
media
day
like that.
and read posts, but you never actually put the stuff to practice.
Yeah, I don't.
You know?
I don't do social media.
Yeah,
that.
whatever.
I don't.
We don't care.
I,
We'll talk about that later.
Yeah, that's a whole nother
'Cause that's why
podcast.
that's a whole nother podcast because he doesn't promote the podcast
Oh, wait,
because
whoa,
he doesn't
whoa,
do social
whoa,
media.
Whoa, didn't say that.
Moving
I do
right
do that.
freaking long. No, you don't.
Hence why everybody knows about it right now.
Hence why, if you look on the AJ and Dom podcast Instagram, you won't see one post
Oh,
This
that's
year.
different. That's
this year.
oh wow.
See,
But I don't even have that. That's all yours.
No,
That's
no,
all you. I don't have no login.
you have the same login I do.
I do?
twinflameenergy11@gmail.com.
Oh.
So yep. Feel convicted in this moment. Have an ego death. It's your fault. So moving right along.
See what I have to deal with?
That was a conversation we were going to have later. That's what I was talking about when I wanted to write down your daily that whole conversation this morning about how I wanted to create you a schedule. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
That was all about this actually.
Mm.
About the fact that we have no promotional anything and I'd be at work all day and I'm going to put it on your plate.
Mm.
Okay?
Mm.
That's all. So, if you want to, let me go over here to my notes and see where we're at. So, that term that we're going to pivot to
Mm-hmm.
that is extremely deep.
Okay.
I have a few things to read off about it, but it can literally turn into like the next podcast episode.
Okay.
The term is self-betrayal.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Self-betrayal is a way of coping that many develop to keep themselves safe and try to meet their needs, okay? It's so loaded. So the first thing that was kind of cray-cray, it says, have you ever considered the profound impact of self-betrayal on your well-being?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm pretty sure that most of the physical ailments I've been going through the past year
Mm-hmm.
are connected to this,
Mm.
okay?
Okay.
It says, the truth is, when you ignore your own needs, suppress your truth,
Yeah.
or compromise your values, we invite sickness into our lives, physically, emotionally, and spiritually.
Yeah.
But fear not, the journey to healing begins with self-love and self-awareness. By honoring our authenticity, practicing self-compassion, and nurturing deep connections with ourselves, we pave the way for self-correction and transformation.
Yeah, that's deep.
Mm-hmm.
That's deep. And I would say that definitely is a big factor.
Yeah.
You know,
Some of the signs.
especially in a professional world.
Oh, yeah.
In a professional world where you're working and stuff like that, you have to suppress so many feelings.
And I've spent a lot of time wanting to be, like, I've always been the type of person, I'm a manager. I've always wanted to be the type of manager I would want. But unfortunately, that doesn't work because nobody's like me.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm out here trying to be the kind of manager that I would want, but nobody's like me, and everything's crashing and burning.
So you have to be the manager.
So I
that
have to
they
be the
need,
exactly, which is the
Not
bitch.
the one. Yeah.
And I don't. That's not like
because
I don't.
you don't need.
I'm the
a
type of
manager
person,
that
like,
is micromanaging.
Yes,
this and
I'm
that.
like, let's
You're
all
not
be
that
adults,
kind of
do what we're
person.
supposed to do, and let's go home and be happy.
Right.
And I have to
right.
spend my day literally like
Babysitting.
creating lists for people and
Babysitting.
coming behind. Yeah, babysitting.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very, very stressful.
Yeah.
And it's not me. So it's like I have to become someone else. And it has affected my health. Like
Yeah.
on a, like, I truly believe in some way I've developed some type of an autoimmune issue just from being a manager, which is sick. And it's like I toggle between, you know, how you'll be like, okay, I need to drink more water. I need to be working out. I need to do this. And sometimes I feel like I'm climbing up this hill that gets bigger and bigger and bigger. And then I'll have moments where I'm like, okay, maybe I just need to go through this like straight up through like a spiritual kind of way and be like, okay, I should just take the next 30 days and not think about the physical shit and be like meditating an hour a day, doing breath work an hour, you know, like focus there and being more of a manifestation kind of like self-care, you know, and maybe I can like, because for me, I'm like, nothing has changed physically for me to have all the issues that I'm having.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, maybe I should just go straight spiritual with it. But then I'm like, okay, but maybe I should also be, you know, obviously excess weight and things like that aren't good for you in general. So I'm just like, okay, maybe I should focus on that. And so I literally get to a point where, and, you know, I'm a Sagittarius and a Leo rising, and my numerology and all of that is so dualistic that literally like my personality is left,
itself.
right.
It's to battle
so I never get anywhere because it's like I'll spend 3 days focused on the physical and then 3 days focused on the spiritual, but I never am actually putting a brick on top of the other. I'm always at brick one, because I'm going left, right, and I'm like, okay, I need to get to the point where I'm at brick 2, brick 3, brick 4, you know what I mean? And I'm actually building something. So it's very, very hard because even today, I'm like, okay, maybe I need to go spiritual with this thing.
You have to just gain a sense of patience.
I need to, I'm a person that needs a clear and concrete plan and then stick to it. But I haven't yet because the plan changes every time I get a new piece of information.
Yeah, you have to have where you can set yourself a threshold or a barrier where it's like, you know, you do certain things, you know, you're going to deviate. So instead of having your deviations like be something bad, you already have your deviations planned to where it's like, if you do one of the 3 things that you decide that you don't want to do, then your other idea or thought or whatever you're going to deviate from is still something towards your goal.
Right.
And, you know, that's a lot of setting up to do.
Yeah.
And then, you know,
like it's like it's interesting. Some of the signs of self-betrayal. 1, indecisiveness. 2, feeling out of control or stuck. 3, ending up in relationships with people who betray themselves and therefore you. 4, a desire to be saved, fixed, or rescued. 5, a feeling of resentment or bitterness towards people. 6, being chronologically overwhelmed. I'm sorry, did I say chronologically? Absolutely not. Being chronically overwhelmed by a feeling of not knowing where to start. And a constant need for approval, deep fear of criticism. Okay. And now how to break the self-betrayal patterns is 1, know that your needs matter. 2, take time to identify your needs.
Right.
3, be mindful about how you share these needs with others. Then commit to small actions. It might be 1 minute of meditation, 5 minutes of journaling, something that you can easily achieve. That's something that's hard for me. Because 1 minute I'm like, baby steps. Like, I get this, like, God, we had a podcast recently. If I can dang it. I think I archived it. There was a term, and it's going to eat away with me unless I find it. What
the term is?
Yeah. I think it's from the podcast Am I My Own Worst Enemy? Cognitive dissonance.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so I definitely have that cognitive dissonance because it's like I'll be like, okay, baby steps. Let me do some little stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then I'll be like, bitch, please, you used to be able to do an hour of Zumba. You used to be able to do all these different things literally a year and a half ago.
Mm-hmm.
And now you could barely walk up the stairs and you have shortness of breath. And it's like, what the fuck? You get what I'm saying? It's
Right.
like, and I know a lot of people are like, you need to go to the doctor. We're not going to have that conversation here. We're not even going to entertain it. And I'm not even going to tell you what I think.
Well,
We're going to move on. So the thing about it is, yeah, it's just, I know that this is more of a spiritual blockage.
Right.
And that I'm being tested.
Right.
But I just
Have to pass the test.
I gotta pass the test. But I actually have to like get in the ring. And I've got 5 rings in front of me and I'm like, which one am I supposed to get?
Yep.
So that's been my test. You know?
Yeah. It's all deep. You know?
But yeah, I mean, my nighttime routine is insane.
Yes, it is. It lasts for
Lymphatic
about
drainage
2
massages and this and this.
So
and
you got a
this.
2-hour
Yeah.
nighttime routine.
But hey, it is what it is. It's all a part of the. I don't think there are such things as mistakes. It's all a part of the journey. So
Right.
learn something from all of it and just keep moving.
Yep.
You know.
It's all we can do.
Yep. So what I would say, my final thoughts are,
Yeah.
when it comes to this, is spend the rest of the year getting to know yourself. I know that we get guilty and, you know, which is another low vibe frequency, guilt, that we don't want anything to do with. But, yeah, spend the rest of the year literally getting to know yourself. It's the end of April.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we've got plenty of time to just like spend that time. And I feel like if you really take the time to get to know you, your kids, your friends, your family, everyone will be better for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's not a situation of being selfish, because the thing about it is you'll be presenting a better version of yourself to everyone around you. So
Right.
that will make you a better parent, better friend, better family member, better employee, better boss, etc.
Better everything.
Mm-hmm. And honestly, when we say focus on yourself, I mean, literally, it's like taking you could take 30 minutes a day
Yeah.
and dedicate it to something specific,
Yeah. Anything.
you know?
And even less than 30 minutes. It's just start somewhere.
What you could do with 30 minutes, literally,
With somewhere.
like, you could do 10 minutes of long stretch yoga,
Mm-hmm.
5 minutes of breath work,
Yep.
10 minutes of journaling,
Yep.
you know? I don't know how many minutes is that, Lord. 10, 15.
A little bit of everything.
10, 15 minutes of reading a chapter of something, and then you've hit 30
Meditation.
minutes. Yes, 10-minute meditation. And it's like,
And definitely,
you've done all these things.
Got your Trilogy Zen you can go to, you know.
Yes,
I had
definitely
to
hit
throw
up
that in
Trilogy
there.
Zen.
I had to throw that in there.
At Trilogy Zen.
Yeah. But yeah, that's just...
Yeah. So that's my final thought. You have any final thoughts?
No, I never have final thoughts. That's
you have
all
nothing
you.
to say. No
That's all
thoughts. Nothing in your brain.
I mean, you say everything.
It's just there.
You say everything
It's
perfectly.
just there.
I don't need to say anything.
Well, maybe they want to hear from you.
Do what she said.
I swear to God. It's not good enough.
That's just it. That's just it.
Okay. So
You
yes,
know?
self-control, learn it,
Yes.
master it, be okay with the fact that none of us have it yet.
Right. My final thoughts is comment. Let us know what you think. Ask questions. What should we talk about next? Those things.
Yeah, I'm always
Share
open to that.
the podcast. Yeah, like anything.
Some people won't realize that I literally wake up on Thursday and I'd be like, hey, we're podcasting today. What are we talking about?
Well, I mean, we have lots. It's just,
Yeah.
it's not, it's really more or less what we choose from
Exactly.
to talk about because it's so much.
Yeah.
And honestly, these are short compared to what we really
We could
dive
talk all
into
day, yeah.
on subjects and different things and health and all kind of stuff. I mean, so many things. So,
And I think the more
but just stay
transparent
tuned.
we are,
Just
the more
stay tuned.
interesting it makes the podcast.
just stay tuned.
Ones like today when we were kind of really talking about like what's really going on in our lives, I think are cool.
I mean,
You know?
all right. So we're gonna leave you.
With a little song,
Yeah.
and I like this song because it's called "The You and You."
This song.
And basically, wait.
Oh, go ahead.
Basically, it's about getting to know you, the inner you,
Mm-hmm.
and how it could connect with the inner you of those around you.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, enjoy that on your way out. We will be back next Thursday.
Consistently.
I know, right? Who are we?
I don't know.
See ya.
Alrighty then. Here we go.
I'm addicted to myself, so in love with myself. If that rubs you the wrong way, then you're not the one for me. There's something about your energy that it just keeps drawing you to me. I think it must be a soul tie calling me from deep inside. You and yours, you and yours, you and yours, calling from me inside. You and yours, you and yours, you and yours, calling from me inside. You and yours, you and yours, you and yours, calling from me inside. You and yours, you and yours, you and yours, calling from me inside.
Never let anyone in. I never open up to them. I can feel your energy. I can feel it through my veins. Rise up fervency since we first fell. And to separate would be like hell. Let them demonstrate to what I mean. Oh, I am now, I am everything. You and yours, you and yours, you and yours, calling from me inside. You and yours, you and yours, calling from me.